On this episode of O'Fallon Matters, find out more about the types of media produced by O'Fallon's award-winning communications department. Meet a local veteran with a passion for serving others, and learn some common sense tips that can keep you safe during dangerous winter weather. All this and more coming up on O'Fallon Matters. Welcome to this episode of O'Fallon Matters. The O'Fallon City Council recently approved the fiscal year 2015 budget. City Administrator Bonnie Therian sat down with us to go over some of the highlights.
Residents will be happy to know that we are planning several impactful projects for the year.
There are so many capital improvement projects in the 2015 budget, and I think the public is going to really appreciate a lot of them. One of the #1 concerns, obviously, is streets and the conditions of streets. That's always been a huge priority for the City Council, is to get our streets up to snuff. And next year, because of the state reimbursement we received, we had advanced money for Route 364. We're now getting it back. We are almost doubling the amount of streets we're going to be able to repair and redo next year.
O'Fallon will start the design phase for a number of much-needed stormwater projects within several neighborhoods. Then, by 2016, the city can request funds to begin construction on the projects that are currently being designed. The City of O'Fallon is also working on the implementation of a brand new emergency notification system.
This will be something new. The residents are going to be able, and business owners will be able to sign up for that. It's going to be phone, text, email, whatever works best for you. And then we can notify you of any weather emergencies, problems, roads shut down.
The city will continue replacing older vehicles in 2015.
We do this every year, but environmental services with the refuse trucks, those will pretty much be complete. That will have everything all brand new or fairly new, which will help obviously with services. New snow plowing equipment to make us more efficient. A replacement of police vehicles, obviously that's a big safety issue. So the council's been very generous in giving us money every year to get our vehicles finally back up to where they should be, which is very important.
Revitalizing downtown O'Fallon is an important priority for economic development and the City Council.
Back in December, there was a consultant chosen, so we'll start work with them in January. We are going to want a lot of public input on this, of ways the city can spend some of the tax dollars on streetscape improvements and making the downtown area look a lot more inviting so that businesses do come in, renovate buildings, those types of things.
Teaching O'Fallon's managing directors Lean Government, or Six Sigma, will continue this budget year.
This is something that's been widely used in the private sector, and it's really a way of doing business that makes us more efficient and effective. Sometimes government can make itself too bureaucratic, paperwork and what they make people go through. So it's really a process of sitting down, going step by step. Do we have to do every single step here in order to achieve the end goal? And 9 times out of 10, you don't need all those steps.
If you're interested in finding out more information about the City of O'Fallon's 2015 budget, you can go to www.o'fallon.mo.us. And if you have any questions or concerns regarding city services, you can contact the Citizens First Center at 636-379-5553.
The great thing about all of these projects and the entire city budget is that the council did this with no tax increase. So we were very fortunate through the creative budgeting of staff and finding ways to do with less that we're able to achieve a lot of capital projects. But The citizens have to realize, too, that projects are great, but there will be some interference into their lives. But I think in the end, they're going to find it very, very important to have these done.
If you want to find out about city festivals, municipal updates, and governmental meetings, this O'Fallon department can get you the information you need.
When you flip through the pages of the O'Fallon Parks and Rec Guide to find the perfect event for your family, or watch a short video on local businesses through the O'Fallon Business Map and Directory, you're seeing the work of O'Fallon's Communications Department. In fact, the Communications Department works through a variety of media sources to ensure that O'Fallon residents can stay up to date with everything happening in their city. With 5 websites, a TV channel, a newsletter, and a Parks and Rec Guide, it's easy to stay in touch with city events, government meetings, and more.
What we try to do as a department is really be the eyes and ears of the public here at City Hall. We kind of look at it as a twofold approach. First of all, we want to show everyone what's going on here at City Hall. So if a resident wants to know what's going on in their local government, they have various means to look and find it, and our job is to give them as many options as possible. The other thing, of course, is to educate and inform our residents about the events going on in the public, all the activities that they have available to them. You know, one of the great things about living in O'Fallon is all the opportunities that there are, usually a lot of them free, that you can get out and do and have fun with your families. But it doesn't do any good if we don't get the word out and let people know what's going on.
One of the foremost tools available to O'Fallon residents is the quarterly city newsletter and the Parks and Rec Guide, which includes news from the mayor and city council, information on events, leisure activities, and volunteer opportunities, as well as the status of public works projects and general news about the city. In addition, the Communications Department develops and maintains the 5 websites of O'Fallon. Each of these websites offers a wealth of information to residents, and everything you'd like to know about O'Fallon is just a mouse click away. Designed to be especially easy to navigate, you can watch videos about O'Fallon festivals, look up nearby businesses, explore our government boards and commissions, and get updates from O'Fallon's social media accounts. And with separate pages for our Parks and Recreation Department, Police Department, Renaud Spirit Center, and the Heritage and Freedom Fest, it's easier than ever to find the info you want. You can even view our city newsletter and Parks and Rec Guide online.
The City of O'Fallon offers hundreds of great activities and events throughout the year. The websites, the city newsletter, and the Parks and Recreation Guide make finding those activities easy and quick for families.
Videos, like the one you're watching now, are also produced by our Communications Department for OFallonTV, the City of O'Fallon's 24-hour government access cable station. Original programming for OFallonTV includes 5 flagship television shows. The O'Fallon Update is a weekly program that keeps residents up to date on government news. Energy is a monthly program that promotes healthy lifestyles and activities. O'Fallon Matters highlights important government issues, civic organizations, and other stories that matter to our community. Keep It in the O puts the spotlight on local businesses, showing off our hometown stores and shops. And The Scene keeps citizens updated on neighborhood events and happenings throughout the community. The channel also airs cablecasts of meetings and workshops from the O'Fallon City Council, as well as all of our city commissions and boards. Plus, OFallonTV programming is embedded in the city's website, allowing residents to get a brief overview of O'Fallon departments or explore a topic in greater depth.
OFallonTV is a great way for residents to have a window on what's going on in their community. Not only can they learn about city government and programs and services, but they can also find out about businesses or other events that are going on around them.
OFallonTV programming is available on your TV by tuning in to Charter Communications Channel 991 and AT&T UVerse Channel 99. You can also watch OFallonTV's original programming live and on demand at the city's website, www.o'fallon.mo.us, as well as on YouTube at www.youtube.com/OFallonTV. No matter how you'd like to get news about your hometown, O'Fallon's Communications Department has put together a variety of sources that will quickly get you up to date.
I think one of the things that we've really improved on over the last couple of years as a department is the integration of all of the materials that we use, whether it be OFallonTV, whether it be the website, whether it be the printed newsletter. We've got a system now where it truly is a system that all of our residents can see whatever's easiest to them. You know, whether you get the information on OFallonTV or the website, or you still like to look at the printed newsletter, it doesn't matter. You're going to find the information that you need, and you're going to find it in all of those mediums, and hopefully you're going to find it in an entertaining and fun way to read too.
This local veteran spends his free time giving back to his community, and through his dedication, other local veterans are getting the assistance they've earned. Joe Meyer is here with this month's O'Fallon Matters profile.
If you ever walk up the stairs at City Hall to the 3rd floor, you may run into Jim David in the Veterans Affairs office. That's where Jim spends his time giving back to local veterans. Jim's involvement in the military started way back in 1959. Over the years, Jim served our country in the Air National Guard at Lambert Field until 1995.
Started out as a black and white still photographer was the actual job title. And then I moved into photo processing, and then I did some movie work with them, and then moved on up into TV. In the 70s we started TV, and I ended up being the superintendent of audiovisual services.
In 2000, Jim and his wife decided to make O'Fallon their permanent home. Jim wanted to be close to his son and granddaughters. And since that time, Jim has played an important role in the O'Fallon veteran community.
I belong to the American Legion Post 388 here in O'Fallon, and I am their service officer. I take care of veterans that are looking for help from the American Legion. I also used to be, not so much anymore since I had my knees worked on, used to be a member of their honor guard. We provide firing teams for military funerals around the area. I had a friend of mine who lived out here and belonged to the American Legion with me, Joe Meister. He's now a colonel, lieutenant colonel in the Air National Guard, and he asked me if I would like to get involved with the veterans here at City Hall, and so I said, sure, why not? And that started my career out here at City Hall.
Over the years, Jim has served on O'Fallon's Veterans Commission, where he has helped to organize veterans events at the O'Fallon Walk. He's served many roles on the commission, including treasurer. But it's the Veterans Affairs office in City Hall that keeps Jim coming back day after day. In fact, Jim helped charter the opening of the O'Fallon Veterans Assistance Office over 10 years ago.
The commission is what sponsored the office upstairs. They got the office started upstairs. They approached the mayor and got us office space and a computer, and so we could service veterans.
Besides volunteering in the Veterans Affairs office himself, Jim helps organize and train other volunteers who staff the office during the week. In fact, Jim was named the 2014 City of O'Fallon Ambassador of the Year. It's Jim's continuing passion for helping veterans that makes him a true community asset.
When I first retired from the Air Force, I found out that there wasn't a lot of information available for people, retirees and veterans. And so I tried to fill that need. And I enjoy helping veterans. Nothing makes me happier. I can sit upstairs in the office for a whole week and not talk to anybody. Then I have the one guy that comes in and he's got a problem, and I solve his problem for me. Makes a whole week worthwhile.
If you're a veteran who needs help with military benefits, go ahead and get a hold of Jim in the Veterans Affairs office. Jim and his staff are always there to help you. And next time you see Jim David around town, you should thank him for helping to make O'Fallon a great place to live.
It's time for a break. When we come back, we'll check in with Brett Figgis for some important winter safety tips. Also, we'll find out how O'Fallon snow fighting crews are prepping for that next major winter weather event. You're watching O'Fallon Matters. Welcome back to O'Fallon Matters. Fire protection is something you don't normally think about until you need it. That's why we have the O'Fallon Fire Protection District, who has always been proactive in expanding its capabilities.
In the event of a fire, every second counts. An extra minute can sometimes mean the difference between saving your home and losing everything. It's an uncomfortable topic to think about, but you'll be happy to know our Fire Protection District thinks of nothing else. That's why they're hard at work constructing a new firehouse at 1200 North Main. This new building will replace our existing 60-year-old station and better serve the north side of O'Fallon. It'll offer modern conveniences to our firefighters, many of whom work 24-hour shifts. But more importantly, it'll help our Fire Protection District grow with O'Fallon.
The building that we're in now was built in the late 40s, early 50s. You know, and it's as the district's grown, you know, our needs have grown as well. So we felt that it was time to build a new station and to move it a little bit further north.
Financed with a voter-approved bond issue, this new firehouse is on schedule to be completed in late January, and our firefighters will be able to move in by the beginning of February. With expanded room for our firefighters and the ability to store an ever-expanding line of gear and tools, this building will greatly enhance our Fire Protection District's capabilities. It's a definite step up from the current building.
We feel the new location is better because it reduces our response times to this area of our district. You know, we cover roughly 72 square miles in the O'Fallon Fire District, so you know, every second is critical, you know, in an emergency. So I believe that we'll be able to provide a better service.
Now let's find out how O'Fallon snow fighters are preparing to battle Old Man Winter.
The City of O'Fallon snow removal crews recently got together for training in preparation for winter weather events.
We go through the routes, the new policy. If there's anything new with the policy, any new accepted streets, we're going over that today. New equipment, we're going through new equipment. Get all the snow fighters into new equipment so they know how to operate it.
Snow fighters can be called out to cover 12-hour shifts during a major weather event. And it's vital that each employee understands policy and procedure when it comes to plowing snow.
It's very involved. Starts with putting all of the equipment together. We put every truck we have together, right around 40 vehicles, putting the plow and spreader on. We have to do that a month in advance just to check everything out, make sure our equipment is in proper working order. So we have to stay on top of every aspect of everything we do to make sure we've got the most effective product hitting the streets, the most effective equipment, delivering that product, and then making sure the drivers that are operating the vehicles are safe, knowledgeable, and efficient at what they're doing.
Main thing that hurt us last winter was during the snow events. After we had a snow event, it got blistering cold. Most of the snow packed to the street made it really difficult. So we're trying to get an edge on that by educating our people that help us out on how to do it properly to get us ahead of the game plan so we don't have to fight as long on getting the snows clear for the residents.
After hours of detailed snow training, the snow fighters met up for an old-fashioned chili cook-off.
It's important for camaraderie and that people get together and have a good time. And this is something, hopefully the other guys here from the Public Works Department get together, share some good food, and nothing brings people together like good food does. So.
Keep in mind that the City of O'Fallon is responsible for cleaning most streets within O'Fallon city limits, but not all. To keep local traffic moving, the city clears major thoroughfares first, and then they work on cleaning residential areas. MoDOT is responsible for clearing the following state and federal roads: I-70, Highway KN79DD, and the South Outer Road. O'Fallon snow fighters have some advice for O'Fallon residents during snow emergencies.
Residents help us out a lot by not parking in the streets and removing their vehicles from there, because it gives us a lot easier path to travel to get the streets open and if you don't need to be out in it, don't get out in it, because that leaves us a lot of room and lets us get around a lot quicker.
I mean, there's been several times they're just going way too fast and you see them go off the road, and they just need to slow down. They need to stay behind us and not try to pass us. So they do that all the time. And it's real dangerous. You just can't stop any of these vehicles on a dime with the plow truck.
Don't forget that you can go to www.ofallon.mo.us for up-to-date snow emergency information.
Make sure you stay prepared and safe during the height of winter by following these simple tips. OFallonTV's Brett Figgis has more.
Spending time with your family and enjoying the many holidays are part of what makes the winter season so wonderful. But as with any time of the year, there are specific things we need to be aware of to keep our families safe. Today on O'Fallon Matters, we're going to take a look at some easy ways to ensure a safe and happy winter season. First, we're going to walk through some tips for home safety. Your home. It's filled with memories and belongings that aren't easily replaced. And when winter strikes, being prepared and following a few simple steps can help keep your family safe.
And perhaps one of the biggest risks to your home is a fire, and cooking is the leading cause of house fires during the winter season. Keep a fire extinguisher handy and you can greatly reduce your risk. Winter also means roaring fires in the fireplace and space heaters warming up your rooms, each of which poses a unique risk. Make sure you get your fireplace and chimney inspected once a year and have a metal screen or tempered glass door in place to prevent sparks from escaping. If you're using a space heater, ensure it's a modern unit without exposed wire heating elements. And keep it at least 36 inches away from objects. If you do get snowed in, keeping a winter survival kit can help you weather the storms safely. Keep several days' supply of food that doesn't need cooking, like bread, crackers, cereal, and canned food. And stock up on medicines that any family member might need.
Ice and snow can also make walking dangerous. Many cold weather injuries result from falls on ice-covered sidewalks, steps, driveways, and porches. Make sure to shovel snow and ice out of the way, and you can keep your steps and walks free of ice by using rock salt or a chemical de-icing compound. As weather changes, so do driving conditions, which can lead to slower traffic, hazardous roads, and unforeseen dangers. Here are some tips to keep you driving safely throughout this winter season.
When snow first hits the ground, accidents are much more likely. It takes a few days for drivers to regain their sense of driving in winter weather conditions. Taking it slow, avoiding driving during heavy snowfalls or icy roads, and keeping your car tuned up can help you make it through the winter safely. Keep your tires properly inflated and make sure your brakes, antifreeze levels, and battery are in good condition.
Finally, one of the simplest steps you can take to keep yourself safe is to fully scrape ice and snow from your windows, windshield, and hood. Let your defroster run for a few minutes before leaving, and keep your sightlines clear to your rear view mirror and side mirrors.
So remember, when winter hits, a little preparation and a few simple precautions can greatly reduce your risk of accidents. Be prepared and you can fully enjoy this winter season.
We're so glad you watched today's show. If you have a good story idea, let us know. You can email us at OFallonTV@OFallon.mo.us. See you next time, and remember to give back to your community, because O'Fallon matters to all of us.